Hello everyone and welcome back to the Anime Club, reviewing One Piece, Arlong Park.
Story, characters.
Today we're talking about the story and characters of Arlong Park as an arc. And it's kind of nice that the whole submission was like one nice little packaged arc for us to go through. So this is Nami's story, Nami's backstory. Like we met her earlier with Buggy, but we didn't really get who she was or what she was about. All we knew was that she was a thief and she didn't like pirates. So what we're getting now is the rest of her backstory, why she doesn't like pirates, why she's a thief, that kind of thing. So the arc's basically split into 4 parts. A pursuit of Nami, which is basically takes us from Baratie to Arlong Park, which is a location. Then you have the Navigator's Tragedy, which is her backstory.
And it takes place entirely in Australia.
Then we have the actual battle between the Straw Hats and Arlong. And then Nami's last laugh. And then we had a little Buggy side arc that we get to cover in the end. So I want to talk about, first real quick, some characters that... So we don't really get character development for anyone except for Nami and the people in Nami's backstory. Like, we don't really get character development for Zoro or Usopp or anything beyond what is reactionary to what Nami is doing. So obviously we have Zoro, for example, feeling betrayed by Nami, but then realizing that...
That said, Zoro is still beating the shit up.
Yes, yeah, well, he can't heal automatically from having his chest sliced open.
You mean he's not Wolverine? What the fuck?
Yeah, also, continuity, 10 out of 10 One Piece. Zoro is still fucked up from Mihawk last arc.
Still fucked up, and according to a lot of the characters, he shouldn't even be alive from these injuries.
No, he definitely shouldn't. My dude, he was like sliced from shoulder to hip.
Yeah. I mean, if freaking a
Yorin
sword went for you, you'd pretty much be dead.
Yeah.
But he's still alive somehow.
Yeah. So outside of the fact that Zoro and Usopp both have interesting moments where they kind of have to deal with thinking that Nami's a traitor and then finding out that she isn't in some sort of way, either by their own intuition or by her revealing it. So we have some interesting bits from them at least. But on the whole, I mean, until the fight scene, for example, with Arlong and the Straw Hats, Luffy's unnecessary in this arc, essentially.
And Sanji's just out here being a simp as usual.
Yeah, Sanji's just simping. It's okay, we're gonna get a lot of that going forward. That's pretty much all Sanji ever does is simp and cook.
Yes.
But at least it's constant.
Yeah, right, at least it's consistent. So, moving into it then, I think I want to talk about characters before we talk about story this time, and kind of go over Nami and the few characters we really get introduced to. So we have Arlong and his lieutenants, Nami, Nojiko, Bellemere, and Gensan, I think are really the main people we want to be worried about right now. Bellemere is Nami and Nojiko's adopted mother, and Nojiko is Nami's adopted sister. Gensan is a man from the village who's friends with Bellemere.
Isn't he kind of like what you would consider the chief police in our
times? And he's basically the father figure for Nojiko and Nami.
Yeah.
You know?
He's a sheriff role.
Yeah. And then Arlong is obviously the main villain with his crony. And what a villain. Like, oh, talk about superiority of one race.
I didn't think Arlong was that compelling of a villain. He was compelling for his relationship to Nami, but other than that, I thought he was kind of just a...
Oh, yeah, on his own, he's just another pirate doing whatever he wants. But with Nami, he makes a good arc villain.
But, like, you could have had Nami with what's-his-name from... the Baratie arc, and it really wouldn't have changed much.
Yeah.
It's not like he was...
It's the framing of Nami and Arlong and these things that have happened to her that makes Arlong a decent villain.
The problem, really, I'd say, honestly, though, is, like, I think what Knick Knack was kind of getting at is that you could just kind of interchange some of these pirates, just change up, like, how their dynamics work a little bit, and the frame kind of sits.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I'm saying that, you know, if you'd put Don Krieg in this role and then given all this backstory, Don Krieg would have been a better villain than he was. Yeah. It's the backstory that makes them, you know? Like an actual, not just a person plopped down in the world to be a villain, but an actual backstory.
Yeah, I just felt Arlong did not have much of a backstory here.
No, it's all about Nami's backstory.
Yeah.
This is Nami's arc, not Arlong's. That comes later, guys. Return to Arlong. Salbadi Fishman Island. Post-time skip.
I mean, we'll get there eventually.
Eventually.
Because, like, I know, like, obviously Arlong's not dead from that encounter.
Oh, no, Arlong's dead.
Oh, he is?
Arlong's dead.
This
is it for Arlong. We do not
know. No, he's alive. I think we see him in a prison cell.
Oh, do we? Okay, well then he's in prison. But he does not come back into the story. However...
Yeah.
Arlong is important in the story later, not in a personal capacity. He is important, though, post-time skip on Fishman Island.
Yeah.
But, with that being said, so, Belmere.
Why don't we speak on the positives of Belmere first before I go on my tangent?
Okay, so Belmere was so... Okay, let me figure out how to phrase this. So Belmere believes in the idea that pirates are bad so much that she joined the Marines, and she basically almost died, except then she found Nami and Nojiko and brought them back and decided to, like, raise them to the best of her ability, even though she wasn't really
qualified to be a mother figure.
Okay, but she was
financially.
She was a good mother figure, at least. She loved them and cared for them and did everything she could to give them a good life. And obviously there is not a thriving orphanage and foster care system in the One Piece world.
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh,
I mean, she tried.
Yeah.
She absolutely tried.
She at least made the effort.
Yeah.
It probably would have been better if they were just raised by the town in general rather than just her.
They kind of were, though. I mean, Gensan helped raise them, and the town helped. It was kind of a community thing, but she was their mother, essentially. She wasn't the most intelligent of people, but she tried. And she's an interesting character. You know, it's nice having some sort of, like... It's not nice having a major tragedy, but it's nice that gives Nami, like, a good backstory for us to kind of see.
I mean, Belmere's heart was in the right place, that she just didn't, like, know exactly what she was doing some of the time.
Yeah. And I think Knick-Knack would like to make a comment.
Belmere was a dumb... She did the villain monologue as a hero.
Yeah.
She had a gun in Arlong's mouth, past any kind of defensive skills he might have, pointed at him, and her first response to facing down an army of pirates with a fishman, which she knows is a dangerous threat, is not to immediately pull the triggers to say, "What are you doing here, chomp?"
I think she was trying to show Nami and Nojiko that violence wasn't the only way.
They weren't around.
Like, this is the instance where Belmere would have really benefited from shoot first, ask questions later.
Okay, but this is One Piece. Nami needs a backstory.
It just seems too forced.
It is what it is. With that being said, Nojiko and Nami, the sisters. I mean, Nojiko, it's Nami's older sister. I kind of like her. She's a good character.
She was all-right.
Yeah.
She
doesn't do a ton in the context here.
She helps resuscitate Luffy.
Yeah. That's about it. Gensan, honestly, is my favorite character of this whole arc.
That pinwheel moment was pretty cute.
Yeah, Gensan, Pinwheel Man, he's pretty awesome.
Okay, we can't forget my favorite character in the whole arc, the most important character that makes this entire arc.
Momu.
Momu.
The sea cow.
Yeah, Momu.
No, it's a hippo, because there are no cows in the sea.
Yeah.
No, technically manatees are called sea cows.
It's a joke that was in the anime.
Yeah. I know.
But and then there's Arlong, the villain, who, I mean, his whole spiel is that fishmen are evolved humans, and humans need to bow down to fishmen and cannot go against them, and he's going to make a fishman empire in East Blue. Which, by the way, he picked the weakest of the 4 blues, so it says something about
the most
him.
easily subjugated. It's a strategy that's worked for historical conquerors as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, but also he wouldn't have succeeded in any of the other blues.
But he could have succeeded there, and that's impressive enough as it is.
Yeah.
So obviously there's all the other blues, so North, West, and South Blue. North, South, East, and West. So this is East Blue, which is generally agreed in universe, like the characters themselves. East Blue is the weakest of the blues, and I think North Blue is the strongest. We don't see much about South Blue at all, or West Blue, because there's a couple of very brutal characters later in the show that come from North Blue. Which is why we know about all 4 of them and which ones are generally viewed as weaker.
I will say this. I did like Gensan. Although I normally do trend toward, like, the OP character just because, well, it's fun to watch someone get fucking beat up like shit.
Okay, but the OP character at this instance is Luffy, which we ranted upon ad nauseum last
Yeah.
episode, so let's not retread that ground.
Yeah.
Although, I was telling Seki and Knick-Knack this, I didn't realize it, but god damn, he can act like adult, but, like, adultish sometimes, but then he goes back around children, and, like, same what happens to Nami.
Sounds like I'm not on Luffy.
They're not emotionally mature.
Yeah.
None of them are. But they're also all teenagers still, and not like 18, 19. They're like 14, 15, 16.
I don't know.
We weren't emotionally mature in high
Nami's
school.
not emotionally mature. Luffy, I feel, goes a step beyond not emotionally
Yeah.
mature.
He's
but-
emotionally immature, but that has to do with his upbringing. I mean, he did not exactly grow up with role models and people who were willing to teach him. He was generally hated in his village with the exception of a few people.
I guess
Yeah.
on the general topic of characters and story, though, I've just got to say, I think I'm not going to criticize how much was fight scenes this time, because I did that a lot last time. At this point, everyone gets the point. I think now a sort of a new developing criticism of mine to the fight scenes is the lack of any personal involvement in a lot of these. Like, Sanji and Zoro had dedicated fight scene episodes against characters that were built up as their rivals when they really had nothing between them.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing of Rival is they were just the equivalent versions
Yeah.
in Arlong's crew.
Which
Which I will say, that is one big thing that improves later in One Piece, is the villains that the non-Luffy Straw Hat members start to face get more investment as we move forward, and the arcs get more detailed.
just like at that part,
Yeah.
whenever those parts were going on, I was always just in the back of my head thinking, can we get back to Luffy punching Arlong, please?
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, because we don't really have
Yeah.
investment in Kurobu and the other guy.
That said, Usopp just bludgeoning one of them to death was actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
And running away, that was great.
That's like what you would, because that reminds me of like in like D&D where you imagine these intense fights, but no, it's just you hitting someone over and over again with a club.
Yeah, until they die.
Yeah.
It's not a one-hit kill. It's
No.
progressive damage.
Yep.
It's taking a club and just bludgeoning it over the head.
So basically what we need to cover with the story for Arlong Park, right? So Belmere dies, and Arlong is kind of basically ruling over this like a tyrannical overlord and demanding tribute for their lives for 8 years. And he tells Nami that if you get 100 million berries, their currency in the world, you can buy the village back, and they won't have to pay me tribute anymore. So she works as a thief and a navigator, a map drawer for him, to make that money back so that she can buy her town back. And that's been her goal for 8 years that she's been doing this. And she's ostracized by the town because the town doesn't understand what she's doing for them, for the most part.
But really, they know.
Yeah, they know, but they have to show some level of like animosity between them, or Arlong would have been more suspicious and might have done something terrible earlier than he did.
And then he ended up doing something terrible.
Yes, he did something. He found her stash, and she was almost there, and she found her stash, and then that's what devolves into the big final fight.
Although, like, that's just plain ignorance on her part because she betrays people and he betrayed her, and it's like...
She is 16.
But you're
She
in
is
the
emotionally
same
immature.
trade.
She has not had a parent figure since she was 8.
She's in the same trade. Usually you
Okay,
expect this stuff
but-
when you've done it to people.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to. Even Arlong admitted at one point, he's like, I wouldn't. Arlong said it at one point in the arc. I remember he says, I won't go back on my word. If she brings me 100 million berries at one time, I will give her back Kokoyashi Village. It's just that he'll do other things, like if he found the location of it, so he went and took it. That's different. That's not going back on his word. He never said that he wouldn't take the money if he found it. He essentially just found buried treasure.
So the
and
moral
took
of the
it.
story here is that you shouldn't put all your assets into one place. Got it?
Yes, don't trust banks, people.
Or in this case, a giant stored treasure chest.
Yeah.
Separated
Yeah.
out into multiple smaller chests next time.
With an X that
maybe.
you keep on your person at all times that another pirate can stumble upon.
Yeah, so
No,
I mean,
don't do that.
Nami made bad decisions and did not hide her money well, but Arlong didn't technically betray her because he didn't say that he wouldn't do something like that. I mean, he was true to his original agreement in spirit of the word, if nothing else.
I don't know. This sounds like straight up pirate logic to me, which
He's a pirate.
yeah.
I mean, this is absolutely pirate logic. I'm
Like-
not going to go back on my exact word, but any loophole I can exploit, I will.
Like for someone who like has built up a both fake and real hatred of pirates like Nami has, should have been a little obvious
Well, yeah,
that
but
something
I
like
mean,
that was coming.
once again, teenagers didn't exactly have the best kind of role models and education growing up. I mean, we weren't mature at 16,
but we
17.
also weren't as street smart as Nami is supposed to be.
Well, different types of street smart.
And
so-
also, back
Nami's
then,
supposed to be very like accustomed to pirates and like knowing how to
Yeah.
deceive them
Yeah.
and knowing how pirate deception works.
Yeah, but sometimes you convince yourself to trust someone because you're just so desperate.
And also,
Yeah.
there's also probably a little bit of sunk cost fallacy going on here with Nami, where like she's so damn close at this point that
Yeah.
she may as well.
Like, she's
just...
so desperate, you
Yeah.
know? Like, this is her one goal in life at this point. Like, she has to buy her village back and save them.
I don't know, I'm just saying, I don't think the apple fell too far from the tree that grabbed the apple from somewhere else.
Well, it wasn't as if the tree was there to help her grow any further.
And, I mean, the thing is, too, is that even
Okay,
though...
if you were left on your own in the world from age 8, you also would not be...
No, but Nami wasn't left alone on her own. She was left with a bunch of liars and scoundrels that she openly recognized as liars and scoundrels she didn't trust.
I would end up more sinkhole, just saying.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're guys, you're saying what you would do in this situation, but you guys don't understand like the desperation that she's in. Like, she is in a terrible situation, and she has to kind of trust him because
I feel like this is just
no, stop for a second. If she doesn't trust him, what has she been doing for 8 years? This is an element of she has to, otherwise she has wasted 8 years of her life and all of her hopes and dreams. This is desperation, not smarts.
No, Sakma, here's the thing. What we're basically saying is she should trust him, but just not to that much degree as she does.
Yeah, but if she doesn't even trust him enough to keep his word, why would she spend 8 years trying to achieve her goal?
If you can rationally defend it to yourself, that's fine. I do feel it's...
I think you're metagaming here a little bit and not including... Because you don't know the emotions that she's going
what
through.
reason would I have to metagame? This is just an observation of my own that does... like that.
No, but
I'm not metagaming here.
you're making that assumption based on what you think your reaction would be in this scenario, and
I'm
you don't know what
criticizing
your
a piece
reaction
of
would be.
fiction for how I think it was written.
I mean, I honestly agree with your rationale on this one, but anyways, wait, I forgot my other point, honestly. You guys were talking for so long.
We're divided, split in half, civil war, let's fight to the death.
I mean, do we really need to, though, honestly?
We're right. Copycats. Fucking copycats. Anyways,
Vote Vorn.
and then we get the Buggy side story. So, there's like a little 2-episode arc at the end of this selection of episodes that's all about Captain Buggy. And the story behind this arc is that, so when Oda makes the manga, the cover page of every chapter are called like little side adventures, and there's actually like a single drawing or illustration to let us know what's happening to characters that we met before who aren't currently involved in the main plot. So in the first like 7 or 8 volumes, there's a bunch of these little short illustrations, like chapter beginning images, that are called like Buggy's Adventure.
No Bucky's, we're talking the Winter Soldier here, Bucky's. Bucky Barnes, let's go.
But they're called like Buggy's Little Adventures, and they're kind of telling us what's happening to these characters while we're not focused on them. And there's a couple on Kobe and Helmeppo who we've already met, and there's a few pop up about the Baratier going forward. Like whenever Sanji gets a new bounty, there's a little one about the Baratier reacting to it.
But in this case, the Buggy one actually plays into another arc based off of episode names I've seen, and
Yes.
based off of how this one's setting stuff up.
Yeah,
Okay.
going forward in Logtown.
I'm gonna stop real quick, because I finally remembered my thought, so I don't want to forget it again.
Good.
So the one other thing that I was wondering, so while yes, Nami could have bought Kokoyashi Village for 100 million berries, but Arlong didn't say anything about himself leaving.
No, he was not going to leave.
He was not going to leave. So
Also,
he
he didn't say anything about not just reconquering it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pirate logic, man. He left a lot of loopholes.
Yeah.
But he also made the agreement with her when she was 8 and in severe emotional distress.
I don't
Yes.
fault her for making
Yeah.
the agreement in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yeah,
But she
no,
I mean,
even if she bought the village back, he was still gonna do something.
He was still gonna absolutely do something.
Yeah.
There's no way he would just like leave. He would just up and leave after she bought the village.
Yeah, let's be clear about this. No matter what, she was gonna be betrayed in one way or another. Like, this was not gonna work out for her in any way, the way that she was going.
No.
So, that is that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the little Buggy arcs are leading into Logtown. The Buggy will return, everyone. I cannot wait to get everyone to watch
Buggy
Logtown.
will be back in Infinity War.
Yeah. Was that what they did with Loki? Loki will return in.
It was Thanos will return.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And then we do also get his mysterious mistress rescuer, which is not actually all that mysterious.
Yes.
Isn't she just a pirate hunter?
So-
she's one of the pirates that
It's
was
Alvida, that first one, the first fat lady.
Yeah,
It's Alvida.
It's Alvida.
Yeah.
She just by this point has eaten a fruit,
Yeah,
a devil
she
fruit.
She ate a devil fruit, and it changed her. That's why she looks different. But it's Alvida, so we get both
I
Buggy.
forgot who Alvida was altogether.
Yeah, she's the fat one from the first 3 episodes with the giant mace, Iron Mace Alvida.
Was that 3 episodes? I thought that was just 1.
It might have been just 1. Yeah, it was the first episode. Iron Mace Alvida, Colby's captain.
I remember that episode being pretty.
Sorry, I say first 3 episodes because it's part of Romance Dawn, which is the first 3 episodes. But she was only in the first one. But yeah, so Alvida returns, Buggy returns. Also, Logtown will not be the end of Buggy, my friends.
Oh no. But Buggy
survives. He lives on.
If I'm remembering correctly, based on the roughly 100 episodes I managed to get through before dropping the series, Buggy just becomes a running gag throughout the
He does, but then he actually becomes a slightly major character with kind of major screen time around episode like 500.
Let's just gloss over the weird depiction of tribal people that happened in this arc.
Yeah, I mean it happens in this arc, but it also happens in other arcs because the One Piece world is very diverse, so you will see people of a lot of different cultures.
Just this particular one was fairly oof.
Yeah. But with that being said, I think we've pretty much covered story and characters.
Waifu Wars? Or are we
yeah,
not
Waifu Wars. Waifu
Wars.
Waifu Wars. Waifu Wars.
Knick-Knack, where's your energy?
Knick-Knack goes first.
The salt in the ocean.
Okay, Vorn?
Denson, he's actually... He understands his limits. I'm just going to say that. I like him because of that.
God, this one's weird. This one's weird for me. I'm half tempted to go for the salt in the ocean as well, but...
I'm surprised you didn't go for Momu.
But,
nah.
But, you know what? I'll
As much as I love big milkers.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I think it was a guy.
Realm.
Actually,
I think Momu's female. Realm?
God damn it.
I mean, I can check for you.
Oh my.
I can genuinely check. I mean...
Oh, God. I'm honestly... Man, this one's weird for me, honestly. I can't remember who did I even choose last time? It's been so long.
I don't know.
Sanji's?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with Usopp this time around. I think he deserves it after beating that fishman over the head with a hammer.
Yeah, he did actually get at least somewhat serious during then. Then he went back jokish.
So they do use a male pronoun for Momu.
Okay. So
Momu will return.
Thank you for the spoilers, Seki. Let's continue.
So yeah, my waifu choice, in case you didn't hear it while you're searching, was Usopp, because he managed to bludgeon a fishman with a hammer. He gets more not character development, but he gets more character screen time. He actually does something this
I don't
time
know if
around,
I'd call that
like.
character development as much as a character twitch.
So my waifu, I agree with Vord, is Gensan for this arc, but overall I'm still at whoever I picked last time for my overall.
He wasn't in this arc.
Yeah, he wasn't in this arc.
He was mentioned.
Yes, he was, but he wasn't in it. So
I forget his name.
Gensan. But with that being said, we will be back in a couple of days. Like, comment, subscribe.